Hello, friends, family, everybody joining us for day 2 of the Dr. Deal Junkie Challenge. Hope you all had a phenomenal night and that you are all excited for today. I'm super excited about today because we get to do some fun live calling. Yes, I love live calling. I think that's like the most fun thing that we can do because it's just demystifying the complexity of this business, right? It can get overwhelming sometimes because we think we need to be so good, so eloquent, so seasoned, so knowledgeable. And in the end of the day, what you need is like good data, you need a good process, and you need to not be a douchebag. Like really. And if you can put all that together, and like just lead with value, lead with love, try to be like service minded, help the people on the other end. Look, I'm not trying to get on the phone and talk to somebody and like buy their house because I'm not going to be able to buy every house. There's only 15 million houses in America that I want to buy at any given time. Okay, think of that. There's only 15 million houses in America that I want to buy at any given time. And so that first is a lot of houses. But second, that also means in the grand scheme of all the houses in America, that there's only going to be so many that I can help, right? Only so many that are going to sell to me in a wholesale transaction. The beauty of what we're going to do tonight, though, is I'm not only going to be calling to potentially wholesale or buy the property wholesale, but we possibly have some good retail leads as well. And so because I do have a retail brokerage, because my team carries residential real estate licenses, we can also list properties. And so I'm going to be just kind of talking and really feeling around to see if there's a need, if there is a need, if there's an opportunity for us to, connect further, to talk more and maybe discuss what that would look like. And then see if I can even get to an appointment. That would be great, or a follow-up, right? This is the game. We want to open the door, build rapport, find out if there's a need, get an appointment, or schedule a follow-up to get an appointment. And that's the end of it, right? Once you guys get to the appointment, then it's about closing the sale. And that's going to either be as a wholesale deal or a retail listing. If you are licensed, this is a great, two-hitter for you, because licensed individuals can either buy the property or you can list the property. So, and I would also say if you are not licensed, okay, if you're just a real estate investor, a wholesaler, but you don't carry an active real estate license, my suggestion to you, all right, is to partner with a licensed agent that you can send referrals to. Oftentimes what will happen is they'll pay you sometimes half, but most often 25% of the commission. So you can just turn this into like a great passive, lead flow opportunity where you're saying, okay, I'm going to buy the wholesale deals and I'm going to refer the listings to my friend. And this agent that I'm referring listings to will then refer me wholesale deals, right? So it's a scratchy kind of situation. So for me, I can either list these properties, I can refer them to Monique Walker, who is one of my best friends and real estate agents here in the Phoenix, Arizona market. And her and I do, 10 deals a month together. So if I'm sending her retail listings, she's just going to be tickled pink, right? Because she's going to be like, wow, not only is Jamil helping me make way more money on my transactions because we're wholesaling them and we split the fee, but when there's a retail deal that he can't buy, instead of lowballing people and looking like a schmuck, he sends me the retail lead and I list it. What a beautiful world. So I'm going to give us a little bit more time here because, people take a little bit of time getting to these webinars, and the numbers are still populating. So I don't want to get too far into the meat and potatoes until we have everybody here. But I want to see who's awake in internet land today. So if you are joining us today and you took action yesterday, do me a favor and write 1 in the chat. Just write 1 in the chat. Boom. Look at all that. Look at all you beautiful action takers, all you folks who believe in yourselves, and that you actually not only believe in yourself, you invest in yourself, but you believed in the opportunity. You saw it. The numbers made sense, right? The numbers made sense. And to me, when I'm looking at anything that I'm investing in or working towards, things have to line up for me. There has to be logic in the process, right? And that's the piece that brought me to the Deal Junkie platform was I could not overlook the reality of the cost per contract being so much lower. I could not overlook the reality that curated data is going to be far superior than just data, right? Curated data, data that has been filtered, data that has had intelligence applied to it, right? That to me is smart because now I'm using my resources correctly. I'm using them wisely. I'm letting my money stretch much farther. It's an interesting thing in this world of entrepreneurship and business, and we can get more efficient with our costs and we can generate more business with less dollars. This is the idea. This is what makes a company thrive and flourish. And as you guys grow and build your businesses, you're going to see that you're going to want to find efficiencies, find ways to be able to reduce your expenses and reduce your cost per contract, your cost per lead. And today, I believe we will not only prove to you why yesterday your decision making was very good, but for those of you that did not yet take the offer and jump into this incredible platform, I think by the end of today you will see what you're missing and you will make the leap into this platform, because I truly believe that when you have intent, when you have intelligence, and when you have curation, that means when you got people really putting together the different data points to make sure that this is good data, that's when you're going to have every minute of your prospecting count. And I just want to dive into that quickly for a second as well, right? Because a lot of you have a W-2 job. So if you are joining us and you still work a W-2 job, do me a favor and in the chat, write W-2. Just write W-2. Yep. It's a lot of you. And let me tell you why this is important for you with a W-2 job, especially, okay? Because you got a W-2 job, right? And that means that 8 hours of your day are spent working for somebody else. You got to come home and you got a limited amount of time to do this, or you're doing this on the weekend. And if you're just getting a pre-foreclosure list, or if you're just getting absentee owner list or a tired landlord list, again, nothing against those lists, but they're just so big, right? They're so big. And you're going to spend thousands of dollars skip tracing it, right? But because there's been no intelligence applied to that data, you're just going to be calling so many people. Now, if you've only got a couple hours every evening, and if you only got Saturday or possibly Sunday to do this, then wouldn't you rather that every minute you spent working be worth 16 minutes? Because that's the reality here. That when your data is 16 times more powerful, that means that every minute you spend is 16 times more powerful, right? That means that for every minute you're on the phone, essentially you're on the phone for 16 minutes, right? That's the math. This is how this breaks down. So I hope that all really opens your eyes and enlightens you guys to the power of doing this. Now, I do want to get started, guys, but for those of you that know me, I will never begin these without starting with a prayer. And the reason for that is I truly believe that anything and everything we want or need in our life will find its way to us through our source when we ask and take steps towards it. Now, again, if this makes you uncomfortable, please just mute me for 30 seconds. I will do this anyways. But if you'd like to join us, here we go. Father God, we love you so much, Lord. Thank you for today. Thank you for opening all of our eyes and giving us breath, for giving us the minds to connect and communicate with each other. God, we are so grateful for that. Lord, we ask that you guide each of us to your purpose for our lives, so that the steps we take are your steps, the words we speak, your words, the actions we take, your actions. God, we ask that you guide us to those individuals that'll be of benefit to us, either through a financial gain or a lesson that we need to learn. But we also ask that you deflect us from those individuals that would waste our time or bring us harm. Lord, for any of our family members here that are in need of any additional understanding of the concepts that we teach, we just pray for perfect clarity in their minds. And for any of us suffering through any physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual pain, we just pray for perfect healing in our lives. And Lord, it is with humble hearts and in your heavenly name we pray. Amen. All right. Excited, excited. All right. Who would love to see the Vanna White of real estate investing? In my opinion, one of the most eloquent, wonderful humans that does what we do here in this business. I had such a pleasure yesterday listening to Jenna Hoover explain, talk, educate, teach, and show us just why she is the best at what she does. But this platform, I mean, she knows it better than anybody else, right? She's been working on this for so long, and really is the reason why I personally believe in it so much. Because when I finally got to have the heart to heart with Jenna, and she showed it to me, she showed me how powerful this solution is. It won me over. It not only won me over, but it won so many of you over yesterday as well. So if we may, Jenna Hoover. Hi, friend.
Hey, how
How are
are you?
you?
I
I'm
know.
excellent.
It was totally like a Vanna White. I just like popped out of nowhere.
I know. I'm like, where you know, the fun thing would be, right, if you had letters behind you and like you were like moving things, but it's this. We'll take this. How's your night? How's your day?
Great. How about you?
Phenomenal. I was at a Keighley meetup last night where I ran into a whole bunch of people that tuned in yesterday, and I have to say to you, Jenna, that I was thanked probably a dozen times from people who tuned in for you and for opening their eyes to the Dr. Deal Junkie solution here. And I just again wanted to thank you for that. But I have a burning question because I love to know what people eat. So what did you eat for supper last night?
Oh, geez, for supper, I think I had buttered beef and rice. I
Ooh,
think
did you make that
in a Instant Pot.
in an Instapot?
Yeah.
All right, buttered beef.
Yeah.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing this new change of life with my nutrition. So I have to eat healthy, and that was what was on the list.
All right. Well, I had Jimmy John's.
Oh,
So not necessarily healthy. It was, fast. I had to eat it while I was at my meetup, but I don't know. There's just something about Jimmy John's bread. You know what I mean?
oh yeah. I
It's
hear you on that one.
so good.
It
Like
is.
when I die, just wrap me up in a Jimmy John's, in Jimmy John's bread and put me away like that.
Man, you need a shirt and then, endorsements.
It's so good. Well, Jenna, I'm excited about today. I know that we're gonna be diving into some technicals today, so I want everybody to be able to follow along. So, Natasha, if you would, can you put the link in the chat for anybody who's just joining us today that did not take action yesterday on the Dr. Deal Junkie platform? In the chat right now is a link that you can go and quickly sign up, because we are going to be using this today. We're going to be pulling lists today. Not only are we going to be pulling those lists, we'll be skip tracing the list, and then I'm going to be calling that list, which is going to be super, super, super fun. And anyone who did not see day one, there is a replay. It's emailed out. So because you registered for this, you will receive the email. It was sent out last night. In addition to that, I'm going to be putting this on my YouTube channel. So no worries. You're not going to miss any of the training. You're not going to miss anything that we spoke about yesterday. But Jenna, if you would, real quick, uh, tell us a little bit about, again, just to recap what we looked at yesterday and what we'll be pulling today in terms of lists and why these lists are so special.
Yeah. So I'm so excited to hang out with you because I feel like this is like a mini or a big mastermind. Like a lot of times, people just see you and they just, they watch your recordings, but like everybody that's here, they get to see you live. And that is just so cool that they have that kind of one-on-one experience, and really working with you has been super cool. So what we're going to talk about today is obviously going to be your software, and it was designed by investors for investors, and I really feel like it's going to change everybody's game because I mean, I know that there's so many, like you had mentioned, there's so many different ways that we can find leads, and none of them have to be, you don't have to stop doing any of the ways that you're doing things, but adding an additional way, because as investors become more and more, it seems like every time you turn around, there's more people wanting to become an investor, more people putting out bandit signs, more people doing different things. So we have to figure out, how do we find the people that nobody else is finding? How do we target the people that nobody else is targeting? And then to take it to the next level, how do we maximize our marketing dollars? How do we figure out how to put all these different leads almost into a makeshift sifter and spit out the best of the best, so that way it's super easy for you, it's super efficient, it's super automated, and it's something that you can learn it one time and then outsource it. Because the last thing, I'm sure, Jamil, that you want everybody to do is be sitting and be stuck behind your computer all day. I mean, that's just like, nobody wants to be sitting there. And if you can have somebody else setting everything up for you, doing all this stuff for you, then we're able to duplicate ourselves. And if we're already 16 times ahead of the game, and then what would happen if we now can duplicate ourselves in addition to all that? So our goal is just to be able to show you what you have, because yesterday, obviously, it was an introduction. We just opened up our car door and said, get in. We're not not letting you touch any buttons today. Just kind of taking a peek at it. And obviously our goal over the next future together would be doing more things hands on, doing more, almost like these little mini mastermind type of setups. And, and the cool thing is like I was saying, like these calls almost are like a VIP thing. It's almost like they have an opportunity to know what's going on in your brain before you announce it to the world. And this is kind of the opportunity to learn everything that you're doing, get the right software. And so that way, as you push this more, as you become more vocal about all this all over your social media, everybody's going to be like, yeah, I already had this from a month ago or 2 months ago. It's like everybody is going to find out about it after the fact. So kind of, just having access to you and all this now is going to be critical for everybody's success. But we basically have a personal Google search for all available properties across the country. So you don't have to go to this website to find these different leads, or go to this site, or we're able to find everything we need right here. Obviously, it's great in conjunction with a lot of the things that you guys are already doing. However, we can take all those different leads and then figure out, how do I sift those down? How do I filter them down? And then how do I get my marketing up and running? So I know I'm just going to jabber too much. So you got to pull me.
No. There's some incredible questions coming in here. I want to just kind of touch on a couple of them. First and foremost, is it only residential property? We answered yesterday that no, we do also have access to multifamily data. But what about commercial storage and land? Is that available as well?
That is, but it would be something that we could talk about. I mean, that would be, and I really like your group, because they're forward thinkers. They're just not saying, oh, I'm just going to do residential. They're already thinking big and already going commercial. So there already is a whole other section of this that is solely commercial. And that, I mean, that could be something we talk about maybe on our next call together and really show that. I mean, we can look up mobile home. We can look up, different, we can look up storage facilities. We can look up mobile home parks. We can,
Well, I actually want to ask the audience this. If you guys would be interested, if we did some very, very specific trainings for you, everybody who, look, you guys, you've already taken action. You're a part of our world now, right? So what if we did some specific trainings like, hey guys, who wants to learn how to pull mobile parks? We're going to pull mobile home parks, and we're just going to go ham on that. We're going to go through all the things on mobile parks. We're going to call these mobile park homeowners. We're going to show you exactly how to run mobile parks. Okay, mobile parks to the side. What if we do multifamily now? Let's do a multifamily training where we just get into multifamily. We talk about the nuance in that, and then let's go. What if we do this in land? What, you guys following me here? So we're going to give you more specific trainings, more opportunities for you guys to be able to come in and really dial this in, really get this niched out for you, because not everybody wants to play in the sandbox that everybody's playing in, right? That's the thing. So let me tell you this, right? So I was in I went to Colombia, and I had the best time out there, right? But there was this one afternoon where there was a whole bunch of people in the pool, and the pool was green. And then I realized what happened. Everybody was peeing in it. Everybody was peeing in the pool. Like everybody was peeing in the pool. So you guys might not to be like to play in a pee pool. Maybe you want to play in pools that have fewer people in them, right? So you might go into. I'm sorry, Corianne. She's like, stop you. Maybe you want to get into a pool where there's just a couple of people, right? You maybe want to get into storage. Maybe you want to get into. Yeah, Columbia has beaches, but I was in this like little area there. Anyways, so you hear what I'm saying, right? We want to get really, really specific. We want to get really niched out. So Jenna, how often will we be able to do like little specific trainings? Because I'm super in this with you. I'd like to do this with you. So for everybody who's taken action, I'd love to be able to do these. You think we could do these like every couple weeks and just do like a mobile home park, and then we'll do multifamily, and then we'll do something else, and it'll only be these trainings will only be for those of you who took action with us in these last 2 days. So if you took action with us yesterday or you take action with us today, um, either way, you'll be invited. Are you game for this with me, Jenna?
Heck, heck yeah. I mean, and if I'm just like, my mind is blown. I'm just sitting here thinking like somebody could purchase this and have access to you. I mean, that's just so incredible to have. And it's not just mobile home parks. I mean, it's every single piece of commercial property you can think of. If you want to buy a golf course, we can
Industrial.
if you want to buy a funeral home, we can find it for you. I mean, you name it. I mean, one of the people in our company, they just bought a golf course that was in the brink of foreclosure and has turned it around. I mean, it's just unbelievable the things that you can do. But again, it's the baby steps. So the last thing we want to do yesterday is get on here and puke all over you, all
Yep.
this stuff you can do. This, all these different, your brain would be spinning. And so it's just getting you comfortable and then going and showing you what it can do.
Awesome. Now, I did promise yesterday that we were going to select a lucky individual who was going to get reimbursed for their purchase and also get nationwide data. And I do have that selection made. And I have the name here. Hold on a second. It's not a name that is super familiar, but um, I'll borrow Jacobs. I know that guy. I'll borrow Jacobs. You have won. You're the winner. You're going to be reimbursed the price of Dr. Deal Junkie for the year. So next year you're going to have to get into the monthly payment. So don't email us next year and be like, what's up? What's happened? But you're going to get nationwide data. I'll borrow. So I'd love for you to come back to our trainings and explain to people what you've been doing with the nationwide data. And enjoy that. So, Jenna, that's a pretty big deal, right? The nationwide data.
Yeah, that's a huge deal. I mean,
Tell me why.
well, first off, because for somebody to buy that yourself, I mean, anybody can go buy the data that we have. I mean, but it would be tens of thousands of dollars a month for you to be able to do it, and it would just be overkill. But just to be able to have just no limits, because like I was saying before, a lot of times people get into real estate and they get scared and they don't do things and they're nervous for their phone to ring. They're nervous to call somebody. But the thing is, there's so many ways you can get into real estate without having to flip a house yourself, which is, you're the prime example, Jamil, with wholesaling. You don't have to flip any houses if you don't want to.
Right.
And so the thing is, like, every excuse that people say, well, there's no deals in my area, there's too much competition, like all these different excuses. Okay, that's fine. Now just pick a new territory. And that's exactly what you can do. You can go anywhere in the country, learn the different markets. And if you can learn it in your area, then you can learn it anywhere. And it's a lot of times like where I invest in Pennsylvania, when I first got started almost 11 years ago, I would put up my signs and I would get so many phone calls, and there was nobody, because there was no investor competition, which is great. Some people would think like, oh, you're shooting fish in a barrel. However, I had nobody to wholesale to. So the fact is that if I would have been utilizing something this powerful back then, I would have been able to literally pick up my virtual routes and start marketing somewhere else and find people who are active buyers in the area. Because when I started my marketing, I put up signs, I sent out different marketing campaigns, and my phone was ringing like crazy, and I couldn't buy them all. And I had 5 or 6 different deals. When I first got started, I made 6 offers and all 6 got accepted because there's nobody else to buy them. And this was like my first month or 2 in real estate. And I went forward on 5 of them, because I had no choice because they were such smoking good deals. But if I would have been able to say wholesale to that person, wholesale to that person, wholesale to this person, I wouldn't have been crazy. And I wouldn't have had like 3 houses under construction and no contracts with my contractors. And luckily nobody fell off the roof, but I would have been better prepared. So the ability to do anything in any part of the country now, and obviously not having to pay for it. I mean, but the thing is, don't take that for granted, because if somebody gave me a free gym membership years ago, which I've had before, and I'd be like, I'm not going,
Yep.
but
yeah, and I agree with that. I see that all the time. There's a couple of comments in the chat I just want to kind of address real quickly, because of course, with respect to pricing, right? Like, it's like, why is this not on a monthly, every month instead of just an upfront? Well, first, guys, that's just not the way that the platform got rolled out, right? So there was a lot of expense in the development and putting this together, and so it does go to monthly in year 2. Okay, so in year 1, it's $9.97 for the first year. But I just want to explain to you guys like the value of this, because if you're sitting over there, you're like, well, man, is this worth it? Is this really valuable? Let me kind of just break it down for you guys one more time. So when you use something like PropStream, okay, which again, you guys know I'm a fan of PropStream. I've I've used it before. I don't use it anymore, but I'm a fan of it. It's helped so many investors do business and make money, so they're awesome. So PropStream is going to cost you $99 a month. Okay. And then you're gonna be like, yeah, Jamil, that's way better than your $9.97 up front. Okay, hold on a second. $99 a month. Then they give you 10,000 leads. Okay. And you're gonna have to skip trace all 10,000 of those leads, which is going to cost you $1,500, okay, for one list. Now, remember, this $1,500 isn't going to get you to a contract, because the national average for this type of data, where we're talking just, blanket data like tired landlord, absentee owner, high equity, right? The average cost per contract, if you're calling yourself, not if you're hiring a VA, but if you're calling yourself, is you're going to need to do that 2 times. Okay, so it's going to be $3,000. $3,000. You guys can't see my screen. I'm so sorry. Okay, thanks for saying something. I'm sitting here just drawing. You guys are like, wow, this guy's like not showing us anything. He's just doodling on his iPad there like a weirdo. So we know it's $99 a month. You get 10,000 leads for that. You skip trace it at 15 cents per lead. That gets you to $1,500 per list, right? But you have to do that twice. That's going to take you to $3,000. Now, we know that our data is 16 times more powerful. Okay, we know that because it's got all those data filters on it. It's making this 16 times more concentrated. 16 times more concentrated. So we take that $3,000, we divide it by 16. That gets you to $187 cost per contract. Okay. So again, guys, what this means is you're going to be pulling way smaller lists every month. You're not going to be pulling 20,000. Even though we give you up to 60,000 leads to pull, you're not going to pull lists like that. You're not going to pull lists like that. You're going to pull really strong, really small lists. And when Justin says, how do you come up with 16 times? So again, Jenna, how do you guys come up with 16 times better? Please explain it, because it's being questioned, and I want to answer it once and for all, and then we're not gonna dive into it again.
Okay. Yeah. So what we do as a company is we do look back analysis, and we pull our nationwide data, and we pull all the different properties that we predict. What we do is we score them on the different scores. So we'll pull a list of 600 and 700 and 800, 900. And what we do, those are our sellability scores, and we score them on a scale of 0 to 1,000, 1,000 being the best, on how likely we predict that they're going to sell in the next 90 days. And so what we do is we pull a list of all the different properties that we predict that will sell in the next 90 days, and we wait 90 days. And then obviously we have all the sold data. So we cross-reference it, and we match what we predicted versus what has sold. Now, obviously, if it's the 600 and above, it wouldn't be 16.3%. But if we were to take a list where we did 900 and above, we go from a less than 1% success rate of these people selling in the next 90 days to a 16.3%. And it's only getting better and better. So originally it would have been, maybe like I think it was like a 3x lift. And then it went, after a while it went to 10. And so our genetic algorithm is constantly evolving and progressing. So it's, it's only going to get better and only going to get more advanced.
So again, I just want to explain to you guys that this is not when the data filters and the points that they're using, some of them she can disclose and some of them she can't because of legal reasons, right? But to give you guys an example of what some of these might be, let's just say, for instance, you have a house, right? And this homeowner had changed their phone number, did mail forwarding, canceled some magazine subscriptions, had their utilities turned on and off a couple of times, had a notice of default sent to them, had a credit card show up late or credit card payment come up late, maybe a couple months in a row. So maybe they did some searches on the internet that I don't know. We're allowed to talk about that stuff, but so when you look at all of that, when you look at all that data and then you compile that, so when somebody's asking, does it list stack, guys? List stacking is when you compare list stacking to what we're talking about here, you're literally talking about like macaroni and cheese versus Mastro's. Okay, for those of you that don't know what Mastro's is, the most tastiest steak you'll ever eat in your life. Okay, it's like list stacking is Kraft Dinner and AI, the smart data that we've got here with all of these different curation points is eating at Mastro's. It's completely different. So it's like list stacking times list stacking times list stacking times list stacking times list stacking. Like it's stacking everything. So way, 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 way better than that. Jenna, would you agree with what I just said?
Yeah, and now everybody wants steak, but I mean, you still can list stack, and then you can still put the sellability scoring on top of that. You can still select everything, and we can do that and go over that more on upcoming calls. But and not just, we don't just give a property a sellability score. We give it 3 scores, and we break it down based on retail, rental, and wholesale scores. And so how we get that, when it comes to the retail, these are properties that are going to sell more towards a list price. And what we have, and I know you'd kind of touched on, we have very, very invasive data. And obviously we don't provide the billions of data points that tell you everybody's financial struggles. We just basically give it the sellability score. And for the retail ones, they're people that are not necessarily in a tough financial situation. They're people like you had mentioned. Maybe they switch their address. Maybe there's a divorce going on. There's some kind of life circumstance. There's something going on that basically is indicating to us that they probably need to sell. They probably don't need to sell right away. It's not because of money. It's just because of something else that's going on. So if you want a property where you could potentially have it as a listing, like you had mentioned, then target something like that type of a list. Now, the middle one, which is our rental numbers, these are properties that are most likely going to sell again in the next 90 days at a potentially discounted, more towards a landlord, or potentially at a discounted price. And the reason we come up with that number is, and how we get that information, is because we look at things like the neighborhood. Are there a lot of rentals there? Is this property a rental itself? Would this be a good neighborhood for rentals? And so that's why we say that. So if you're saying, I really want to get a property that could potentially be, from another landlord, maybe a tired landlord, so it's basically another way that we could try to find rental properties. And then my favorite one, the wholesale number. And this is how likely we predict that the property will sell in the next 90 days at a discounted wholesale price, is because this is where it involves the finances. These are people that we can pull information. They're struggling financially. Maybe they lost a job, credit card payments. So we're able to identify they need to sell most likely, or there's something going on, but they're probably going to be in a hurry and they're probably going to sell it at a discount. So just to kind of break that out a little bit, because I know we talked about so much yesterday, but it's really, really important, because it's not just you can pull that score, it's you can really identify exactly what you're looking for. And when you understand how powerful and how we're getting the information, you can really leverage it to your advantage.
I agree. I love that we had a question in here, is that, hey, how is a house have both a high retail score and a high wholesale score? So what would be something, or what would be a circumstance or circumstances that create high scores in both of those categories?
I mean, it could be a combination. They could be going through a divorce. Maybe the house is sitting there vacant. Maybe I mean, there has to be something going on financially. Also,
For
one
the
of the
wholesale score to have been up, but there's also other things that show us that there's a chance for a retail sale as well. So it just, what it means is that triggers happened in both categories.
Yeah, and also, like I had said before, like we look at all, it's almost like symptoms. So we own 40 years worth of real estate sales data of every house that is sold in the country since the 1980s to now. And what we do is we look for those trends. So if we see that a lot of houses in that particular area or with the similar type of symptoms typically did sell at a discounted price or sold very quickly, then we're able to take that data, put it into our system and say, okay, here's this house. And we're able to predict that they're probably going to need to sell quick because of the 40 years worth of all the other people that we can see ended up selling quick, is kind of just to put it into English.
Got it. Guys, I am going to get to cold calling sellers. So that is going to happen today. But very quickly, Jenna is going to give us a demo on how to pull a list. Jenna, if you would screen share for me.
Okay. Okay. So this is going to be your user interface. And this is where you have your total control access to find all the different leads. So what we can do is you can type in a whole state. You can do it by county, by city. You can just type in one address if you want to, or you can just type it in by zip code and then we can hit search. So in this situation, we selected a couple different areas, but we can go in here and we can say, all right, give me all the properties in 85018. So when we do that, we're just going to go to search and it's going to give me all available properties in this particular zip code. Okay. Now, when we look at this, these are just all available properties. So over 13,000. And again, most likely less than 1% of these people will sell in the next 90 days. So we have to figure out what is the best way for me to maximize my marketing dollars and really weed out the people that most likely may not sell in the next 90 days. So if we're just leveraging our sellability score, this is where, we can talk about the list stacking, but this is where we're going to go into our scoring section. And then this is where we have our retail score, our rental score, and our wholesale score. So again, we have 13,000 and I'm not going to want to market to all of them. I only want ones that the system says, this is going to be potentially a good listing or a good rental property or potentially a property that's going to sell at a discounted price. Now we can say, give me all the properties that have a score of 700 and above. So I don't know why.
So Linda, no, available does not mean on market. Available means that they're just houses in the area, right? So when Jenna says available homes, she means that how many homes in total are in the 85018 area. So there's 13,000 homes available in the 85018 area. Then we take that one step lower. We say, of these 13,000 homes, we know that 1% of them on average, with no filters, with no curation, with no AI, 1% of them will sell within the next 90 days. We know that statistically. That is a statistic certainty. That happens all the time. So 1% of them will sell of those 13. But what Jenna wants to do is she wants to remove as many as possible that don't have circumstances or situations attached to them that make them more likely to sell. So she wants to whittle that down so that 1% becomes 16%. And that's why she's going to change her AI scores. And sorry, continue, Jenna. I was just trying to catch everybody up to speed.
No, I always like when you give me a break there. But when we look again, so you have all your different properties. These are your different scoring. And then you come in here and you can select it. So this is, again, figuring out who your target audience is. Who are you wanting to reach out to? And so if we come in here and we say, give me all the properties that have a score of 700 and above, and it's going to be dependent upon your area. Like you may put in your zip code and like we just did on the last one, there was 31. It's not that first off, it's the size of that zip code. And it's also based on, a lot of the different factors. And what we're doing is when we have these different scores, it's great for us to be able to find the properties to target while we're shaving off the ones that don't need to sell. Because if you have somebody who's happily married, pays all their bills, everything is perfect in that person's life financially, and they're not going through a divorce and there's no different liens and things like that on their property, then obviously that's going to be somebody who we're not going to target necessarily right away. Now
Right.
we come in here and we can say, okay, system, give me all the properties that have a score of 700 and above. So then the system should, let me go back here. Let me just grab my list here. My internet kind of froze up here. So we can say, give me all the properties that have a score of 700 and above. And then it's going to weed them out. So now we went from over 11,000 down to 395. Now we can
Boom.
be more wild and crazy. And one of the whoever you had just mentioned about, are these all on market properties? Are they active? You can come up here and you can still select the active listings, and we can see we have 54. If we don't do that, now we have over 11,000. So if we're kind of excluding off market, then we're losing a lot of different properties there. Now we can
Here's
be,
something that just came to mind, right? Like, as you said this, because we know we can exclude, we can differentiate between on and off market. And everybody knows that I teach how to write offers on market deals and negotiate with agents, going directly to the listing agent, and looking for signs of motivation, and then trying to offer on those houses. But think of this, okay? What if you could filter, like she just did, everything that's on market that has a high wholesale score? Now we know that there's factors that the agent doesn't need to tell us that are pointing to there being some financial distress. So that means that this on market listed property actually has a higher likelihood of negotiating. So when I call this listing agent, of course, I'm not going to say, "Hey, I got this computer system that told me that your clients are broke and they're going to really negotiate with me, so I'm the guy that you're going to sell to." No, you're not going to do that. You're going to be normal, right? You're just going to approach and say, "Hey, look, you had this listing. It's been sitting on the market 90 days. I'm not sure how motivated your sellers are, but I'm really looking for a project. I don't believe the number that you've got listed at right now is where this house is going to trade. The market's rejecting that price right now. I'm wondering if you'd like to hear my cash offer, and if so, would you represent me on this transaction, and maybe we can get this deal done in the next week?" Boom. Now because this agent knows what's going on with their seller. They're not going to tell me that, but now it's like I peeked into the window a little bit. And not like a peeping Tom, but I peeked into the window a little bit, and I was like, "Ooh, there's feces on the floor. Thanks." Get it? That's what I'm talking about. Sorry, keep going. I didn't mean to cut you off there, but let's
no, no,
go back to the screen share.
I just love the way your brain works. I just love it. So, but going back here, just like you were talking about, I mean, you're able to literally peek behind the curtains, and in a very it can be invasive, but obviously we're doing it to help that person and be able to see ways that we could find deals. But if we go in here, we can say to the system, like we talked about, give me an 800 and above, and obviously that's going to weed out our list. We have it down to 185. And like we talked yesterday, you can click on any one of these. You can see all the information. You can virtually walk that property. You can pull comps right here. We have all of our different score. When you see something like this, these numbers are very high. All of them are high. This person,
It's going to sell in the next 90 days, very likely.
whether it be a discount or at list
Well,
price, this something
well,
needs to happen here.
let's look at this one, right? Because look at the situation here, guys. I want to just kind of walk through it. Start at the top of these things. So yeah, right there. So we had a retail score of 859. So it says to us that they're likely to sell retail. It has a rental score of 984, which says there's a lot of rentals in the area. It has a wholesale score of 978, which means there's indications here that these guys might be in financial distress. Moving down a little bit, we see that they own it as an individual. So it's not an LLC. They don't do this as a business. They've owned it for 18 years. They've got 72% equity, meaning they own very little. Okay. We also see their mailing address is in Cleveland, Ohio, which means what? Absentee owner, which means what? That they're a landlord, which means what? They could possibly be tired. Then going again, looking at the year build, 1900. That means there's going to be definitely some deferred maintenance needed in this property. Somebody's going to need to do some work in it. It's built in 1900. When's the last time they did a remodel? What other things can we see here? We see that the last sale was in 05 at 38,000.
This section is very powerful.
Oh, and then look at this. They only owe 56 grand on this thing.
Well,
Wow.
this is what their mortgage was, and this could be what they owe.
Oh, the mortgage balance
Yeah.
is 36. Got it. So their
Yeah.
mortgage original mortgage was 56. They owe 36 now. So they've got all this equity in here. They live all the way in Ohio. And then there were other financial situations and things that we don't know about that this system collected in order to determine that this had a good chance of being a wholesale sale. So yeah, I love this, Jenna. Like, damn, I want to call them. Okay, let's keep looking.
Yeah.
So
So
let's
we
so what else did you do now? Let's get in. Let's pull something.
Yeah, so I was just pulling some different zip codes and things like that because this one is obviously kind of in your neck of the woods. And
Yep.
so again, around 12,000. So we can come in here and we can say, give me 800 and above. And I mean, obviously, a little under 200. So this is a great bite-sized list. Now, one of the things too is we talked yesterday, we can look at those active listings and then we can kind of come in here and say, I mean, obviously there's only 8 active listings that we're able to pull in this area, but then you could combine it with your score, or you could even combine it with your days on market. We talked about this yesterday, where we can say, give me all the properties that have been on the market for 90 days or 120 days. Now we can look at these ones again. This is kind of what you were just mentioning. They don't have real high sellability score, but they're over a 500.
Yeah.
And anything over a 500 we recommend is worth reaching out to.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, obviously those would be, I mean, they need to sell their property, but if we come in here, then we can, go back here. So we're just pulling up all the leads. And then again, we can make this number smaller. We talked a little bit about how we can skip trace them. We talked a little bit about how we can direct mail them, but
Let's talk
obviously,
about the skip tracing a little bit because they've had
okay.
some folks in the chat say, hey, why don't we go to True People Search? Or hey, there's this guy on Fiverr that you can send him your file and he'll skip trace for you for like a penny a thing. So let's just talk a little bit about quality of data and how important do you think it is? And would you recommend that somebody take a list from here that has the high sellability score and go throw it to somebody in the Philippines on Fiverr to see what kind of data comes back? What do you think about that?
I mean, it's all testing and tracking. It's figuring out what's best for you and figuring out what works for you. The amount of time that it would take me to go create a Fiverr, is Fiverr even around anymore? I don't
Mm-hmm.
even.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
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 I was thinking of Elance for some
Oh,
reason. It was like an old one.
it is. It
They
was.
merged
Yeah.
like, yeah, with that other was it Upwork or something. But anyways, so you can go and find somebody there and hope that the data is correct that they give you. And it's probably still going to take a certain amount of time. But the fact is I can do it all right here. And I know the quality of my data that I'm going to be able to pull. So I can get a lot of contact information. I can get several different phone numbers. And what the nice thing about our Skip Trace Plus is that we pierce the corporate veil. So we're able to get LLC contact information, not just individual contact information. So now we can really hunt everybody down and have a way to reach out, because the thing is like you can put a billboard up and hope that person drives by it. We can't control that. We can send them a letter and hope they read it, but we
Right.
can't control that. The thing is we have to find them in the capacity that they typically are in, which is on their phones and which is calling them and reaching out to them. I mean, if we can show up on their social media, great, in addition to that. But our goal is to reach out to them, call them, because a lot of times these people are in avoidance mode. If anybody has ever been in a tough financial situation, it's not like you're just loving to answer the phone and loving to get the mail, because in those situations, everybody's calling that person. The mortgage companies are calling, utility companies are calling, cell phone bills are being shut off, or things like that. So we have to target that person. And the way that we can do that, the way that we can find them and be so quick and efficient, is by leveraging the software. Then when we find them, we can skip trace it right there within the system. It's going to be the same price that we're all used to when it comes to skip tracing. And then from there, we can take it to, the next level with getting them under contract.
Love it. So 15 cents a record is the average. If you have if you do more, it's less, I imagine, right?
As far as like the
Skip
having to do
tracing. Yeah, there's a range
quantity.
10 to 15 cents, or what's that?
Oh yeah. So there's two different versions of the skip tracing. So there's Skip Trace, which is 10 cents, and there's Skip Trace Plus, which is 15 cents. we're able to get you more information with the Skip Trace Plus. And then this is the one where we can also pierce that corporate veil and get LLC contact information. So if you're only targeting a list of individuals, by all means, you can do the regular one for 10 cents, but for 15 cents, you get higher quality data. And then you're able to get, obviously the LLC contact information. And this is just temporarily, we're going to be merging them coming up and only having one option. And it will kind of be in the middle grade type of price range. So you'll have the higher quality data, but a little bit less expensive of an option. So we'll kind of even put you even further ahead than all the other companies out there where you're paying, but you can pay somebody a penny to do it. I mean, what I would recommend doing, even if you do that forever, just at least try it one time this way, test and track it, send a list out to whoever in the Philippines, do one with us, the same, do it apples for apples, like give us a fair playing field. And then see the quality and see the information and see how recent the phone numbers were when you get the one from the Philippines. And if it's like a canceled number from 1998, then you'll see what you're buying versus something where we can show you that they just used that phone last week or today or information like that. So it's just the quality of what you're buying. And I mean, 15 cents if you're doing a list of 100 or 200. I mean, that's like what you'd go spend at McDonald's for two people to go eat dinner,
Exactly. And the thing is like every time I've had this Malachi has a great point here. He says, I don't know anybody who has in-house or in-platform corporate skip tracing. And he's right. Even my very good friends over at Batch, I still have to go open corporates, find out who it is, and then I have to skip trace. And so it's a process, right? It costs more time and it costs more money. Jenna, did you ever work for the CIA?
No, I have not.
No, she couldn't tell you if she did it either. So we did pull a list, and I do have in my possession that list. And so I am ready to make some calls. If you guys are ready to listen to me make some phone calls and see this in action, I mean, I don't know who's going to answer. It's the middle of the day. Or what is it? It's a Thursday today at 12:53 p.m. Pacific. So God knows who's going to answer the phone or not. But I just want to get into it. So if you guys want to see me make some phone calls, do me a favor and throw a W in the chat. Throw me a W in the chat, and I'm going to hit it. I'm going to start going. Let's go, baby. Yeah, we're hype. Dun, dun, dun. Is there anything you want? Any words of encouragement? You want to tell me I'm handsome? What are you going to say, Jenna? How are you going to get me hyped up here? What am I doing?
I mean, I can say you're handsome. And one of the things I always say is, remember, even Jesus fell 3 times. So if you screw up a call, Jamil, you got this, and they can't take your birthday, and you're saving them stress. So
good luck. Love it. You guys are all amazing. And thanks to everybody who called me handsome too. I appreciate that. I like that. I like words of affirmation. They're my love language. All right. Phoenix, Arizona, because I want to be able to buy a house that I talked to. So we're going to do Phoenix. First person I'm going to talk to, his name is Mr. Gustavo. Okay, Mr. Gustavo. Let's call him up.
Verizon Wireless. Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and
dial again. On we go. Guillermo.
Hello.
Hi, is this B Liu?
What are you calling?
I'm calling about the house on Mulberry Drive. Do you still own that?
Yes.
You do? Awesome. Mr. Liu, I'm a local home buyer here in Phoenix, Arizona, and okay. I'm trying to purchase a house in that area of West Phoenix. I'm just wondering if there's any chance that in the next little while you've been thinking about selling that house.
Give me $1 million. I sell to you.
$1 million. Oh my God.
Yeah. You got money?
I have money.
you got-
I'm not a millionaire. I'm
You got
not.
money? You're not gonna call me.
You have
Okay,
no
bye-bye. I'm not gonna say all that.
no chance, no reasons.
No reason. Bye-bye.
All right, buddy. Take care. Have a great day.
Bye-bye. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, it was him though. You know, he said, "Give me $1 million. Give me $1 million. I'll sell you my house." You know, I'm gonna still call that guy back in 2 weeks because, you know, today it was $1 million. Tomorrow it could be 250,000. It is what it is.
You just
But
got one under contract for 950 recently, so $1 million may be a pretty good deal.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that was cool. I like the fact that we got a hold of somebody. So that's dope. Calling Margaret. Hello.
At the tone, please record
Damn
your
it.
message. When you finish,
I thought
you may
I freaked her out because she heard me say Margaret, and I was like, oh, I don't want to leave messages today, guys. So I'm just gonna keep going. Oh, I'm nearsighted, so when I have my glasses on, I can't see anything.
Por favor, deje su mensaje para 6023665.
Geez, don't they know who you are whenever you're calling?
I
Man,
wish.
man, they don't even know what kind of call they're missing.
Right? They'd be having they'd be laughing their butts off. It's like, guys, I'm here to listen. I'm here to hang out.
Hello?
Hi, is this Ludim?
Huh?
Ludim?
Who's this?
My name is Jamil. I'm calling about the house that you own on 67th Drive in Phoenix.
No, you got the wrong address and the wrong person, bro. Sorry.
Oh, I apologize. Are you do you own a property in Phoenix, Arizona?
No, I'm not even from Phoenix.
Okay, no problem, bud. Take care. All right, here we go. There's no such thing as perfect, Christopher.
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Please try your call again later.
I'm actually just loving that they're not like disconnected. You know what I mean? Like everyone's not disconnected, which happens a lot, especially in financial distress. It happens a ton. Ooh, I'm calling Misty Edwards. I used to date a Misty in high school. Miguel says it's probably her.
Hello. Thanks for calling. You've reached Todd Edwards AC. Please leave your name, your phone number,
Edwards.
your address, a detailed message, and we'll return your call. Thanks for calling and make it a great day.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options. To leave a callback number, press 5.
Hi, Miss Edwards. My name is Jamil. I am a local home buyer here in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm just wanting to reach out to you about the property that you own on Montecito Avenue. Wondering if you'd give me a call back. My telephone number one, and I'd just be available to chat anytime. Thanks. Talk to you soon. Bye. Hi, you guys thought you were gonna get my phone number. Ah.
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet.
Yes, you will, Craig.
Hello, you've reached Michael Romo. Please leave a message after the tone.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options. To leave a callback number, press 5.
Michael, how you doing? My name is Jamil. I wanted to chat with you real quick about the property on Holly Street in Phoenix, Arizona. If you could give me a call back, I'll be available anytime today. Love to chat. Talk soon. Bye. Good number. It's pretty cool. We're getting a lot of connections here. That's dope. There's nothing more frustrating than like disconnected.
Hi, you reached Stella. Sorry I'm able to get your call right now to leave a message, and I'll try to return your call as soon as I can. Thanks. Bye.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
I'm going to call her again because it's her. So maybe she's just not answering me. So I'm going to just call her again. Oh, God.
Hello?
Hi, Stella. How you doing?
Who's calling?
My name is Jamil. I'm calling about the house that you've got on 53rd Parkway in Phoenix.
Okay.
I'm desperately looking for a property to purchase in the area, and I was just wondering if you had any desire or any need or reason to sell that house in the next little while.
Oh, no, sir. I'm not interested at all, but thank you, though.
You're very welcome. Is that the only house that you have in the area?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Thank you so much, Stella. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thanks.
Bye.
Take care now. Bye-bye.
Good number. Not interested. Gonna try her again in a month or so. Like, why not? Right? She was super sweet.
So she answered when you called twice.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, okay.
It's a double dial.
Espérame, doctor, espérame.
Elda? Hola?
Sí,
Elda?
sí.
Sí?
Yes.
Elda, hablo inglés?
Not too much.
Not too much. Elda, you own house on Lynn Drive, Lynn Lane?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Would you sell it?
Yeah, but I need. No, right now.
But maybe?
Yeah, maybe in 6 months.
6 months? Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. I'm gonna phone you in a few months to see if you want to sell to me.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Gracias. Thank you, Elda.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
I mean, dude, if I could have spoken Spanish, I'm sure I would have been able to like
Oh, yeah,
get
that
a little bit farther with that. But I was just like, yo, so guys, that was just so you guys understand, I've been doing this for about, what is it now? 9 minutes. Okay. That's a lead. That's a lead. Because when you get somebody who says that they are interested in selling, not right now, but in about 6 months, I put that in as a qualified lead. Now, again, this becomes a follow-up, and we're going to need to find out later on if, and I'd get somebody who speaks Spanish to talk to her and do this way, way, way better than what I just did. My janky Spanglish was terrible, but I didn't want to let the lead go, right? Because I'm like, you're Elda, I'm Hamil, hablo English, not so much. Lynn house sell, maybe 6 months. Perfect. What else do we need? Right? Like, this is dope. I am shocked right now, Jenna. I'm shocked. I've never had direct to seller luck that fast in my life. Ever.
It was only 15 cents.
Ever. Wait. If you guys are tripping right now about that, do me a favor and put a T in the chat, because that was crazy town to me. I'm just like, my mind is still kind of blown that happened so quickly. I got somebody who was like, yep, it's me. Yep, that's my house. Yep, I want to sell. Not right now, but soon. I mean, honestly, this would be one of them that I would go into the platform and send a piece of direct mail as well. And I might even go door knock. Right? If I have somebody who's a Spanish speaker on my team, we go door knock and say, Elda, what's cracking? You want to sell in 6 months. We could lock this up right now. In fact, maybe because you want to move in 6 months, we can help you find where you want to go. We can contract it right now. We can help you with moving. We can help you with packing. We can help you with all the things that you need. Right. And so I would not let this deal go. I'm like, for me, I'd be stacking on all of my different ways that I could get this deal locked up and under contract, because that to me is a sale, whether it be retail and I list it on the MLS, or whether it be wholesale and I buy it myself. Everybody's tripping out right now. They can't freaking believe that happened that quick.
And then, I mean, obviously we're not going to put this address in because this is a really good lead unless
it's a lead.
But I mean,
who wants this lead? Who wants this lead? I'm going to give it away right now. Who wants this lead? Look at all this. Look at all this. Look at all this. Hilarious. Hilarious. This is so good. Okay. Jenna, how do we decide who gets the lead?
Oh, I don't know. I guess whoever speaks Spanish.
They all do. It's like,
make sure that you're handing over the torch appropriately here. We can't even talk to him.
Oh my goodness. I almost want to give you all the lead, but it's like you guys would just drive this woman crazy. So I think that's not fair. Okay. Support, do me a favor. By the end of today, I want you to look through and find somebody. And what we're going to do is I'm going to give that lead to somebody at the end of the day. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. You guys want to see me keep going? You want to see me keep going? I'm going to keep going because this is insane. This is insanity. These always make me nervous because I'm like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? But Jenna was so certain that this was going to be a good idea today. She was like, dude, you have no clue how good this is. So do what you do. We'll do what we do. And it's going to work out. And here we are with it working out in under 10 minutes. My gosh. If you hired a cold caller and that cold caller was able to get you that lead in under 10 minutes, you'd say, marry me. Maybe not if you're married, but All right, let's call Frank.
Hello?
Hi, is this Frank?
No, wrong number.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
No problem.
Hey, can you filter the list where it's only Hispanic last names?
You can search by owner name, but I don't know if we have a
Not a
National
you don't have a
State.
race filter.
we
So
don't have that right now.
somebody asked. It's not me, guys. I'm just somebody asked. I see it in the chat. I'm not going to call them out, but you know.
But you can. There is a box where you can just type in any last name and then see everybody with that last name or first and last name to search for somebody.
Hi, hello. I'm calling you back, Teresa. You don't get to do that.
Hello.
Hi, is Teresa there?
Is who?
Teresa?
Oh no.
Oh, okay. Is this the Armstead residence though?
No, this is the wrong number.
Okay, you guys don't own a property on Gregory Road in Phoenix?
No, no, sir.
Okay, I'm really sorry to bother you today. Have a great one, man.
You too.
See ya.
Zero, two, two.
I'm just really shocked at how many like in-service numbers we're getting right now. This is insane. It's insane. Jen, I've never seen this.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
I don't know who that was, so we're just gonna keep going. Normally I'd leave messages, but not today. Not leaving voicemails, Ed, because I want to keep going. Yeah, the hit number counts are great, Malachi, for real.
Please leave your message for 602268.
Still connected number, not in service.
I'm sorry, the person you were trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been.
That typically means it's like maybe a newer number even, right?
Yeah, or somebody.
Not.
Yeah, it's like probably a new number, or they're just lazy and don't want to set up a voicemail.
Austin says my cell's 5 years old and it still says that. Yes, Marilyn will do that.
Has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Before we end today, make sure we leave enough time because you know that one lead I had. What if we want to send them a piece of direct mail? We had somebody ask, "Hey, can you show us how you would do that functionality to like send them a piece of direct mail?" So before we end today, I'm not going to take up the whole time with this, but before we end today, let's do that.
Verizon Wireless.
Hello.
Hi, is Mario there?
Speaking.
Hey, Mario, my name is Jamil. I'm calling about the house you have on Virginia Avenue. Oh, you don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to call you back and say, I think we got cut off. Hey, Mario, sorry, my phone got cut off.
I'm going to be able to come to the phone right now. Please leave your name, your phone number, and I get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
Hey, Mario, sorry, I think my phone got cut off when we were talking there. I really apologize about that. The reason for my call is I just wanted to talk to you about your property on Virginia Avenue. If you have a quick minute, can you give me a call back? My phone. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Message and I'll call you back when I can. Thank you.
It was her too.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected.
First one out of how many? Normally it's like disconnected, 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 fax machine, disconnected, 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 disconnected. Answer. Like that is insane. This is the first disconnected number I've had, and we've been doing this for like 17 minutes.
And there are cell phones too, which is like
insanity. This is so good.
Eight, 0, 6, 9, 9, 0.
That guy's name was Ignacio, and I so wanted him to answer so I could say, Ignacio, can I call you Nacho?
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Bobby.
Is not.
I'm calling back. Come on, dog. I do have an iPhone.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice. We're sorry.
Okay. On we go.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 62632.
Hello?
Hi, is Francisca there?
Who's speaking?
My name is Hamil.
What do you need?
I'm calling about your house on 15th Street.
Oh,
You still own that one, right?
yeah.
Francisca, is there any chance that you might be considering selling that property?
No.
No, like never, never,
Never, never.
never, never. Do you own any other real estate?
Yeah.
Would you consider selling any of the properties you own?
No.
No,
Never, no.
never, never.
No, not right now.
No, right now. Okay. Well, listen, Francisca, I appreciate you talking to me. Would you mind if I called you back in 6 months to see if anything changed?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'll talk to you in 6 months. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Okay, bye bye. I mean, she was nice. It was her. She said she would never sell it, never, never, but she has other properties. I said, can I call you in 6 months? She was like, okay. A lead, not solid, but a lead. In my opinion, I think, yeah, I didn't get cussed out. Like, guys, I could do this all day. I could do this. Is nobody's telling me to go kill myself. Like it's been cool. It's been cool. I'm enjoying this. This is not first and foremost, guys. If any of you guys had ever had this idea in your head that cold calling is like terrible, because I had that idea in my head. I had that idea in my head big time, right? But this is like not hard at all. Like this is kind of fun. And if you could see yourself doing this for 4 hours a day, give me a 4 in the chat. I think if you did this for 4 hours a day, I think if you did this for 4 hours a day, you would make yourself one heck of a living. I honestly, I can't see how you wouldn't crush it. Guys, Natasha's going to put the link again as soon as all the 4 stops. She's going to put the link again for Deal Junkie. Guys, go sign up while I'm making these calls. If you haven't already, don't be a jabroni. We're proving it to you today. I'm proving it to you. Hello? Almost. It's like Diane, the Diane. I have a story about a Diane. I don't know if I should tell it, but I don't know if I could ever tell this story.
Please leave your message for
Adam.
That's it.
Hello.
Hey, Adam, how you doing? My name is Jamil. I'm calling about that house that you got on 23rd Avenue. Do you still own it?
What about it?
Well, I'm looking to purchase something in that area.
No, thanks. I'm not looking to sell.
Never? Okay, well, that's all right. At least I know your phone number, Adam. And I'm going to call you again. I will. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon and for the rest of your life. Let's keep going. Oh my gosh, I can't see anything here. God, being whatever this is with not seeing is terrible. There you are. Adam just wasn't having it today. He was just like, you double dialed me. What do you guys think Adam was doing before he answered the phone? What do you think, Jenna?
I don't know. He seemed like he was stressed out. He must be in a tough situation.
Something's going on over there. Something's going on.
Telephone number 602.
Good afternoon.
Hi, is Terry Klaus there?
This will be he.
Oh, Terry, how are you today, Terry? My name is Jay, and I'm calling about the property that you have on 40th Way in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you, by any chance, considering selling that property in the next little while?
Not really looking to do that. No, not really.
Not. Do you own any other properties in the Arizona state that you'd potentially part with?
Not in Arizona. No.
Oh, where else do you own?
Florida, which I'm not really looking to sell, and then Minnesota.
My goodness, you must be rich. That's
No,
a
not
lot
at
of
all.
properties you've got.
Not at all.
Not at all. Oh, I'm trying to be like you, Terry. I want to just get my hands on one little house here in Phoenix, and you know, let me ask you this: if I tried you again in 6 months, would there possibly be a chance that you would change your mind?
It's probably unlikely, but I mean, I'd be a better buyer. Do you have any properties for sale?
I often do find properties for sale. What you do like them when they need work, like to be remodeled?
A little bit of work, but I'm not looking for a complete gut.
Okay.
You know?
So something that's possibly rent ready, like it's, you know, the people.
Not even rent ready. Just something that's not like totally bombed out, like, insulation hanging from the ceiling and, stuff like that.
Like feces on the floor, okay. Insulation in the ceiling, not okay.
Maybe.
Perfect.
I'm just not looking to like do a complete 100%, remodel. I can't find the people for it.
I completely understand. I actually have some people. If you're looking for some, right now my guys they're getting angry at me because I haven't been able to find a house. They're threatening to go hang out at Home Depot parking lot.
We'll work for food.
Yes, they want something. Terry, you've been an absolute delight to talk to. I'm going to put you on a list here, and when I have a good house for you, I'm going to give you a call.
Well, why don't you text me or put me on your email, Ron?
Absolutely, I will. Hold on a second. Let me get your email address. Give me a moment. You're like James Bond, but with an extra zero.
Well, here's my other one. T-Claus 007 at frontiernet.net.
You're awesome. I love it.
You know what? I mean, Bond is kind of passe. I'm a Bourne fan.
You are a Bourne fan? Okay, so you like British people. Well, good thing.
Hey, Bourne's the boss.
I agree. Bond is cool. Bourne is better.
You got it. Bourne's the new Bond.
I 100% agree. 100. Also, Bond kind of lost me in a couple of them. They weren't my favorites, and so Bourne is Bourne. Bond is bland.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyway, but no, I've heard rumors that they got a deal with Damon to come back and do another Bourne, but I haven't heard too much else about it.
I haven't either, but God bless him. He's amazing. One of my favorites.
I love that guy.
I do too.
I think he's more of a regular guy than most of the Hollywood types too.
I would agree. I spent a little bit of time in Hollywood and I left.
Yeah. Oh, you're in AZ now?
I am in AZ. Yeah, you probably saw my phone number was from California, but yeah, I'm here now.
Yeah,
I took the leap.
Yeah. I mean, who's buying the houses over there when everyone's leaving?
Nobody.
Really?
Yeah,
Prices are still high.
Prices are still high. Yeah, they are. Their prices, but I think they're gonna.
ADUs in the backyard, right?
They are, but there's a law of homelessness over there. It's a lot.
Yeah, the whole state. I mean, it's like my family. We used to like to, or that beach down in San Diego. What do you call it?
Mission.
It's a different
Pacific.
By the island over there.
Oh, Coronado.
Yeah, Coronado Beach, and
love it.
To San Jose a little bit, we'd love to go over there. And it's like, the last couple of times, it's like, we don't even really want to go back to California.
No, Florida is the place to go. I'll tell you, I enjoy Florida a lot.
Yeah, I picked up a condo in Delray.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, and it's been great. It's like monthly lease. It's just been awesome. I bought it. I want to say like right when COVID was happening.
Oh, there you are, Rich. You lied to me.
No, we're not.
I'm just joking. You did well on it though. Everybody who zigged when everyone was zagging during COVID made money, and you did the right thing. You're a zigger.
Well, catch this though. I mean, that's like the last property I bought. I mean, I haven't been buying anything. It's like, it's crazy town,
Yeah.
I'm looking every day. I'm looking all the time, but
Do you work with any wholesalers?
A few. I get their lists and stuff like that.
I'm connected with a lot of talented ones that have incredible deals. So
Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely, Terry. I mean, at any given moment, I can find you a great opportunity in Florida. I can find you opportunities here. I'm just happy to have made the connection with you. You're a wonderful guy.
Well, it's not Keegley, is it?
Oh, I do know Keegley. Yes. Are you connected to them?
I mean, I see their stuff and I see a few other folks, but I don't see everything, I'm sure. But a lot of them have the same properties on the.
Yeah, the Keegley is the more famous one. The others are not. The other ones are kind of. They're like Feegleys. They want to be Keegley, but they're not.
Yeah, that's right. They're Feegleys.
Yeah, fake Keegleys.
Oh, that's good stuff. But I'm looking into a different type of deal. So, when there's a chance, I could look away from what I normally would want to buy in the Phoenix Metroplex or even Florida. So. But the crazy thing about that Florida condo was it had never been lived in. It was built in 1984.
Wow.
I bought it in like 2020.
Wow. What did it smell like?
It was fine. I mean, it was used for storage for high-end photographic and scuba gear. They were like deep sea photographers.
Wow.
And they passed away, and they lived in the unit next door and used that for storage since 1984.
Wow.
So it didn't even have a toilet.
Wow.
No sink, no nothing. Just weird. And then the boys that inherited it, didn't want to remodel it. So the nice thing is my wife did a great job with it. She went down a couple times and just organized just a fantastic remodel of it. And so I've been pretty much full every month since.
Amazing.
It's open in November, but I just signed a lease for December through the end of March for $37.50 a month.
My goodness.
It's just a one bedroom.
Wow. For $37.50?
One bedroom, one bath, but it's a mile from the beach, it's in Delray. It's a happening place.
Wow.
So, the premium income has been really nice, and I've been really fortunate, probably, more fortunate than I deserve, but I had a gal that came in last January, and she's extended twice, so she'll be out in October 31st. So January through October with mostly premium income.
Amazing.
I gave her a deal the last few months just because I didn't even really have it marketed because I thought she was probably going to extend again anyway. So I gave her $19.50 for the last 3 months. But still, that's good in August.
Very good. It's very good. Summertime in Florida is like basically living in a swimming pool. That's hot.
Yeah, it's living in the jungle,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yuck.
Yeah. But a lot of people still like it. You know, there's a lot of people moving from New York
And
Florida.
New York
offices,
and
businesses,
Massachusetts.
California. You know, I've got a really good realtor that he used to be here, and then he and his wife moved down there. He still sells most of his stuff here in Arizona.
Okay.
He just got licensed in Texas.
Okay.
To Dallas, Fort Worth there. He's got some investors looking there. But you know, he does stuff in Florida too. But he says with the technology nowadays, you don't have to necessarily be.
No, I do a lot. Hold 1 sec. Yeah, Margaret. Oh, my wife is yelling at me. No, I do stuff virtually all the time. But Terry, I don't know how to say this, but I love you. I think we need to be friends. I'm going to send you my information, and if you ever want to have a pint with me, and maybe we do some business together.
Okay. Where are you located in Phoenix?
I live in Arcadia.
Arcadia, okay. Arcadia or Arcadia Light?
Well, light.
Light?
Yeah.
Okay.
Light. I'll be honest. Light. It's 44th and Osborne.
Because then, you know, if you're in Arcadia, I would say you're super rich.
Ah, he caught me. No, I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this number's my where I take text too. So
Okay. Perfect.
if you want to text me, that's fine too. But
thank you so much, Terry. What a day.
Send your contact
Will
detail
do.
And you know, thanks for the call.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful
All
day.
right. You too. See ya.
See ya.
Just throw the.
I don't know, man. I don't know what is up. That was so good.
Now we have a friend to stay with in Florida.
Yes. But it got it went in such weird directions, right? It's not Keegley, is it? Like, oh my God. It's like somebody being like, you're not Jamil Damji, are you, with a fake British accent, are you?
He doesn't even know who he was talking to.
Oh my God. That was so good. I'm like red right now. I can't believe that just happened. That was classic. That was absolutely classic. Wow. So you guys saw I didn't, pivoted, right? Asked some questions. He didn't want to sell the house on 15th Street or whatever. So then I'm like, do you have any other property? He's like, not in Arizona. I'm like, where else do you own? He's like, in Florida. And I said, you're rich. And then he laughs, and then boom, here we go. Right. And we take it down, take it down, keep asking questions, keep getting more. Come to find out, he doesn't want to sell anything. He wants to buy stuff. Right. This guy's definitely going on my buyer's list, 100% going on my buyer's list. He's already on it. But instead of this is where, when I talk about Dispo, guys, you got to understand, you got to not only curate the opportunities to buyers a lot of times, but you got to hand deliver them, right? So he's getting Keegley's properties, but he's not probably opening every email, right? So what happens if I start texting him deal texts of really good properties in Phoenix that are on my list? He's not even going to know they're on my list, right? He's just going to see them coming from me, the funny guy who called him with the British accent. At first, I got to keep that British accent. At some point, I'm going to have to fess up and be like, oh, dog, that's not me. That's not how I really talk. But, and my wife's not Margaret, it's Natalie. But, but a British guy's wife should be Margaret, right? Right? I think so. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I need a cigarette. Let's see how we can send some mail out from the platform, Jen. I'd love to see that.
Okay. So I'm actually going to show something real quick too, as we kind of wrap that up. There was some different questions about, are there tutorials? Are there videos? One of the things to notice when you're in your account, you have fantastic support. So you're going to have email support, phone support. You also have live chat down here. But if you go into this knowledge base, what it's going to do is it's going to launch our frequently asked questions. So you're going to see videos, our frequently asked questions, our glossary, different tips. And then every section is going to have its own little breakdown. But if you go into the skip tracing section, you're going to probably own the bulk of the questions you guys may have are going to be right here. So I was kind of copying and pasting some of your answers in here just to be quick about it when you guys, because you guys are such fast typers. My goodness, I needed to pay attention in typing school. But you can see, you know, all the different questions, what kind of results, how much does it cost, what is the difference? So a lot of the different questions you guys had would all be answered in that section. But okay, so now let's say that we wanted to do direct mail. So you obviously we have our list, we can do all of our typical searches, but if we just had one property that we wanted to do a marketing campaign on, or if we just wanted to send it to, what was her name, Helga or something.
Yeah, I'll get you the one. I'll get you the Elda.
We can just pretend we can just pretend one of these are her address.
Okay.
So that way whoever does win your contact here keeps their lead more organic. But let's just say, okay, so what we can do is we come up to this sign, and we can just add in a property address here. You can add in your contact. So if, obviously Jamil would want to come in here and add his contact in here just so he has it. But obviously you can then, once your property is here, you can just grab any one of these different properties. So, you know, we can see we have this different property, and then we have different ways that we can add it to our direct mail campaign. Another way you could do it would be if you go into your property leads. This is where you can type in an address. I'll just kind of make up one. I think this is one that I typically play around with. We'll just grab this one in Michigan, and then we're just going to go to search. Well, of course, that one I just made up doesn't exist. So let's just do. We'll go with this one. Okay. I'm just going to go to search. And then from here, I can add it up to my leads. So if I go back to, let me just do this just to grab it here. Sorry, my screen, I need to bring my screen up a little bit here. So here's our property here. So this is one. So we have the option, obviously, to skip trace it. Right now, you're going to notice this is grayed out just because you have to have a minimum of 25 to skip trace plus it. That's just right now. So once we merge these coming up here very soon, then you can do a skip trace campaign of 1. You don't have to do 25. And also, as you're going to see, we don't have a maximum or minimum quantity for direct mail. We can just literally type in one address. We can go to direct mail. We can go to continue here. Now it's going to launch our direct mail, and we can just, you know, give it a name. We can select however many pieces. If you want to do 1 piece of mail, 2 pieces, 5 pieces.
So if I do 1, 2, or 5, like when do they send them out? Do they, if let's just say I do 3 pieces, what's the cadence?
So you can either do it goes out weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly.
Damn. And it'll auto do that for me?
Yep. Do it all for you. And then we just go to next. And then obviously if yours would come up blank if you've never put in your info, but you put it in one time and it's saved. And obviously this is just made up info. You can use your own phone number if you want. You can purchase a tracking number right here within the system. And it's basically like a vanity number that's redirected to your cell phone. And then from here, you're just, hold on, let me move all my Zoom tools out of the way. And then we're just going to go to next. And then it's really simple. Who's our target audience? So if we're targeting an absentee owner or just sellers in general, we have 3 different postcard size options, a 4x6, a 6x9, or a 6x11. And these prices that you see, that is it for that entire postcard. So that's including the postcard, the postage. So, I mean, I don't even know what a stamp costs these days. I would think it's more than 49 cents, but it's the postage. They're double-sided, color glossy, and they go out first class. So if
we were to see what it looks like, what it says. Oh, yeah. Dope. Okay, let's take a look at some of these.
They can be whatever you want. So you can hover over them. I have the best results with these yellowish green ones. They're just so eye-catching. But you can see, you know, all these different merge fields. These would have all that the previous page where we typed in all of our info. It would have your name, their name. Everything is customized. These are just a template. Now, if you have your own, upload it. There's no cost. If you want to customize one right here on the fly, you can upload a background image. Doesn't change the cost of anything like that. So again, you can hover over all of these. You can see these like this cat that's stuck, feeling stuck.
Aw, that's cute.
I mean, there's some cute ones, but you know, if we say, all right, I like this one. And we also have a letter option. So it's 89 cents.
Let's see some of them letters.
Yeah. So we can click on this. I mean,
I love that, like handwritten on a piece of lined paper. Let get out of here. That's so neat looking. Okay.
This one, looks like, a little stationary, or they can be typed. Again, it's up to you. So, you can do your best to read through them, see which one. I mean, you can see there's quite a bit of different letters, and obviously, let us know if there's something that you want that you're not seeing, but I'm just going to we'll just say, maybe I want that one. And then again, I have the best results with the middle size one or the larger postcard. The 4x6 is just kind of small and it's easy to be overlooked.
Mhm.
Again, testing and tracking it, figuring out what works best. And then from here, we're just going to go to next. So it would just give us kind of the snapshot. And here's where it will show you the dates. So obviously today's the 21st. They're going to receive it potentially by the 26th. So 5 days, they're going to get this. As soon as you finalize this, the first one goes to the print house. And then you can see, here's the front and back. Again, we can preview them. We can read them. Do yourself a favor and make sure you read them, because you don't want your phone to ring and somebody says, hey, I got your postcard. And you say, oh yeah, well, what did it say? You want to know, you want to know what you're sending out. And then you just go to finish and review. And it just gives you just the real quick summary. Okay. We're going to be targeting, because I have it on here to send myself a copy too. So that's why, when you're doing a campaign, I always recommend to, at least for the first one or two, send yourself a copy, because you get it the same day everybody else. It's almost like you're one of the people in the mix. And that way you can see what you're buying, see the quality of the print material, touch it, experience it. And then that way, the day you get it, everybody else is getting it that day. So it almost like it gets you really excited. So we can see we're targeting 2 people, us and them, for 59 cents each and for $3.54. I mean, obviously
the other part of that is that if you send it to yourself on the same day you send out other mail, then you have to be Johnny on the spot that day, and probably for the next few days after that, because we know that when you do send direct mail, when they call you, if you don't pick up that phone and get to that appointment or get to that conversation immediately, they're going somewhere else. 100%. So that's something you got to keep in mind. When this is why you should send one to yourself, because you'll know, oh, I got to be on point. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Jenna. Continue.
No, you didn't at all. Somebody had said, how did I send it to myself? It's just a setting that you can choose. So if I go into my marketing, I'm just going to go into my direct mail settings. So I'm going to come in here and you can see I just turned it on, send a copy to myself. I can turn that off if I want. I can go back to the different campaigns. So if we sent these out, we would be able to track everything. We would be able to see the status. So obviously there's no status because we didn't complete this, but it would show you if it's mailed it out, if it's processing, it would show us like any failed, type of situation. We can delete it. We can resume where we're at when we're playing around with it. But again, if you notice the area where it had all my contact, you can see at the bottom here to send yourself a copy. So even if you have a default set to yes or no, you can still change it. But obviously it's good to experience it at least one time so that way you can see. But again, you don't have to just have, like, if you're driving by a house and you say, oh, look at that house, I wonder what their phone number is. You can just literally come in here and add the property in, or you can add it on the other screen. And then from here, we can skip trace that person. So it doesn't just have to be a person on our list or in our database. You can put any property in here and find the person's contact information.
Mm-hmm. That is, I mean, Jenna, the utility that I'm seeing in this platform is insane. Like, I haven't seen something so comprehensive before. I haven't seen something that has been so intelligent, and then to be quite honest with you, I have a love affair with my friends at Batch. I adore them so much. They're great people. Their platform is phenomenal. I use their skip tracing and I swear by it because it's been the best that I had used. I'm shocked at the quality of your data. I'm shocked at it. I'm shocked at the number of connects I got today. I'm shocked at the number of answers I got today. I'm shocked at the number of correct phone numbers, albeit there were people that weren't interested. Who cares? I got through to people. I got through to the right people. That's what I care about, because moods are changing, right? Situations change, motivations change. But the fact that I got your number, baby, come on. That means I can communicate. That means that there's an opportunity. And I'll tell you, man, I've talked to people and cancels and expireds, right? We do market there, and I've talked to folks that are like, yeah, I'm not going to sell. I've changed my mind, and then a week later, it's listed. It's like, dude, what's happening, right? Like, no, your mood changes, so your decisions change, and that's the way that life is. So all the people that I was talking to today that weren't interested, I'm going to talk to you. I found one real lead selling in 6 months, one lead that said, I don't really want to sell, but you can call me again. And then I found my new best friend, Terry Claus, who is an incredible dude. I would say like somebody I would want to hang out with likely. And if I didn't fake who I was, I probably would have shared a beer with him, and maybe I would call him up anyways and say, hey man, I just got to fess up with you. It's Jamil. I'm the owner of Keighley. I was doing an undercover boss thing, and I just wanted to see what you thought. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out, because that was super dope. Right. And I want to sell him property. So, Jenna, I want to kind of recap for people what we've presented over the last couple of days, because this has been an incredible 4 hours that we've spent together. I've gone through and I've explained to you guys and shown you the value, right? When you compare what we're doing here with Dr. Deal Junkie and its capacity to be able to get you intelligent, curated, filtered data so that you're not spending thousands of dollars on skip tracing and lists. Instead, you take your cost per contract down from an average of $3,000 per contract, not including the fees, not including your monthly fees that you're going to pay for PropStream, not including I didn't include the $99 in that. Remember that. I didn't include that. When you take that and you make it 16 times more powerful, you get an average of $187 a contract. And on today's live stream, I put my money where my mouth was, and I got on the phone and I started calling so you guys could see in real time just what this looked like. I couldn't have staged that. It's impossible. There's no way for me to have staged. There's no way for me to have been able to do what we have done today. And I believed in it so much. Jenna believed in it so much. She said, dude, do it. I know that you're going to get a lot of connects. I know that people are, even though it's the middle of the day on a Thursday, I know that people are going to pick up the phone. Now you might get yelled at, and I don't know how good of a caller you are, but if you're good, you're going to have some quality conversations. And I said, Jenna, don't you worry about how good I am. You just make sure that this stuff is good. We both did our job today, right? When we talked yesterday, I explained to you guys that when you look at the cost per contract of the national average for direct to seller being $3,000, and then we look at something like Investor Lift that gives you all of this buyer data, but they don't let you control the data, right? And the most expensive package at Investor Lift is $25,000 a year. When you take all of that on and you put together what we have here in this thing, I asked you all yesterday, would you pay $3,000 for this platform? And many of you said yes. And then I asked, would you pay $4,000 for this platform? And even more of you said yes. But it's not that. It's $997 for the year. So if you have not yet taken action on this, do me a favor. If you haven't taken action on Dr. Deal Junkie yet, put a number 1 in the chat for me. I just need to see where did I screw up? Who did I screw up with? Who did I not speak to? If you did not take action, put a number 1 in the chat. Jenna, while people are doing that, explain how we can filter through the do not call list for the worry warts out there that are worried about that.
Yeah, I was actually just typing the answer to that. We don't, as far as the do not call list, we don't filter by that. But what we do is anybody that's ever been in a litigation situation. So if somebody has tried pressing charges against somebody in regards to,
or sued somebody for calling. Yep.
Yeah, we have that data, of course, and we exclude that. So,
you scrub for known litigators.
Correct.
So that's about as safe as you can get. Now, of course, you're not scrubbing the do not call list. That's up to you guys to do. But they are scrubbing against litigators. So that should give you a level of protection and safety. For all of you that put number 1 in the chat, I want you to really think about why you're doing that. Why are you sitting on the sideline right now? No, what is it? Some will say cost. Some will say cost, right? And I understand. I totally understand that. I totally get it. Everything does have a cost, right? As minimal as it can be sometimes, everything has a cost. And the fact is that when you're doing something like this, you have to make a decision that you are going to follow through. Oftentimes, the reason why we are unwilling to invest and to take on a cost is because we know ourselves. We know the patterns that we fall into. We know the fact that we may get excited this week, and by next week, life is going to happen, and we probably won't follow through, right? And that's what stops people a lot of times. On the other side of that, when you make an investment into yourself, and when you've put yourself in a situation where you're like, I got to make this work. I cannot waste this money. I have to be accountable to the fact that I invested this money. You make a commitment, and I believe it's an energetic commitment. I believe that when you make an investment and you follow through and you show up for yourself, you not only prove to yourself that you can rely on you, but you're making a statement to the universe. You're making a statement to your creator. You're making a statement to the forces that bind things together. When you show that commitment, when you take that step, and when you make that first move, you do something. You do something to not only yourself, you do something to the world in front of you. You show up for it. And so for every one of you guys that is on the fence, show up. Natasha's going to put that link in the chat one more time. What are you going to do for yourself today? Are you going to show up? Are you not? That's the question. Jenna, I just can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough for the energy. I can't thank you for the knowledge. Can't thank you for the time. You know, we've had a beautiful, beautiful couple of days together. A lot of preparation prior to this. You are absolutely wonderful. You are one of my favorite people in this industry. I just can't wait to spend more time with you. I want to be around Jenna as much as I possibly can. Are you going to be at Family Mastermind?
Yes. Are you going to be there?
I am. What days are you going?
I'm going Sunday through Wednesday.
Amazing. So I am going to run up to you on Monday, and I'm going to give you the biggest flippin' hug ever.
Good. I need a real, we've met in person. We spoke together before, but all my pictures anymore of just us on Zoom, like big goobers. So then in that way I can get
we get a real, and I think the last photo you have of me, I was Fat Jamil. So we'll get like a better, more recent version with less chin.
We'll be flexing in it.
Yep. Guys, give Jenna some love in the chat. Let her know how incredible she is, how grateful we are. And to the rest of you, I appreciate your attention. I appreciate your time. I know that all of us have lives. We have children. We have obligations and responsibilities, but you guys showed up. You guys came in, you showed up, you did work, and you really, really did pay attention and listen. And I can't be more grateful for all of you. So from myself and everybody else at the Dr. Deal Junkie team, we love you guys. God bless you, and have a fantastic rest of your day. Take care.